They don't have the usual sponges that they have. They don't even have their jungle pickup. I don't think they can afford to play for 4 Protect 1 with the Claude. They need just another option. They get the Yuzhong, but they will be going for Protect 1. They play through the Claude, but they get big impact with the Petrify. Dominic gets a Clint. Woo-wee. Undefeated so far this season, but going up against the Petrify and the Golden Hour could be tough.
Every single skill. I think that's the main issue here.
But before heading into that, I'm also looking at the laning phase. This could be a difficult time for Netsky. He needs to make the most out of his BMI, because one of the tough things about trying to trade with a Clint in the gold lane is that even if you have the BMI ready, just one hit from his first skill plus that basic attack takes you down a good amount, which is why it does benefit Netsky that the current metagames asks for Claude to pack a fighter emblem with Spell Vamp.
And that's right, they'll be able to get back into the fight even easier. Maybe you don't even need to go back to the base, right? Just go ahead and regen off of the little jungle creep right next to you.
And look at what Mingwin is also doing. In order for Ryzen to roam around the map a little bit faster, he's been leashing him countless times. So that creates a little bit more opportunities for Omega to stay in pace with Aurora, as Demon Knight is already in level 3. Same could be said for Ryzen, who's holding utility.
So first rotation is top side, trying to stop James. They want to play for the EXP Crab, get an advantage for one of the roam mids. It looks like, based off of their gold, still very close. Netsky might have gotten the last hit on the Crab? Or they just gave that to Demon Knight. Forgive me, I missed that take. But the last thing that we saw is that Demon Knight is playing the lane around his own gold Crab. Bringing it low, dragging it back out, and then clearing minion waves as well.
Yeah, just look at James simply denying Edward of what could potentially be an avenue for him to get to level 4. That's not going to happen just yet. Omega gets the tides of the gold. Even if it's 100, it's going to be coming a bit for them. This is what Renmar was talking about. The laning stage is going to be a problem for that Claude entering this first hurdle. But hold on, Light got down to half HP. Now it's going to be Ryzen holding on to that major objective. The Black Dragon form is going to be here as well, as Yue just continues to put the pressure on the others. Light's going to be doing the same. But there goes the cape, and Ryzen is going to be easily taking that first hurdle of this game. The fight ensues. It's going to be James stuck. And that is first blood going to the hands of the Northern Lights.
James brought back and stopped. He was able to use the Petri. Make a walk away with the turn, but Aurora, one more kill.
Whoa. Look at that. They're now setting their sights on Perks. But quick thinking, just making sure to use that flicker to be able to get away.
That's really exhausting all of these battle spells here for Omega, and of course exerting more pressure down bottom. Even though they did get that hurdle, the fight
an arrow connected coming out from the super rookie. Mingwin makes it happen, and with that, Aurora's gonna have to protect the purple buff, because now it's Omega that's raining on their parade slowly but surely as Perks. It feels like the Northern Lights won't do anything about it, or they can't even do anything about it.
SpongeBob, we're getting our purple. Oh, that was close.
But Tommy Kite is stuck, and this might clinch the end. Netsky, through the help of 2 friends, living it up for the barangay.
Omega are so good, man. They're quick on the react. Because what Aurora did after that turtle made so much sense. They pressured down the bottom side. Domikai thought that he'd be able to stop Netsky from getting some farm, but Netsky's handling the lanes well. That even with the minion waves pushed in and a threat of Aurora tower dive on him, he still had 2 cards that he could last hit safely under turret. Now, after that, you see Perxiva and Mingwin playing around the river bottom side. They land the Abyssal Arrow, then they continue that play as Dominikites overstretched, while Netsky came down from the river with a BMI Blazing Duet. The chef's kiss, Omega.
I think that right there is key, like landing the Abyssal Arrow first, and then just following up, not really doing anything crazy here.
Well, they're going to have to be really careful here, and I'm talking about Netsky because he's been shoved out of the base. Light was waiting for him on the other side. Nowhere else to go. That flicker to be able to get away, saved it up until the end. Now it's going to be Light having to run back to his teammates, but Mingwin for 3 lands it on for a 3-1 kill score. What seemed to be an initiation for the Northern Lights turned out to be better for Omega.
It's like this day is trying to teach me how to be more patient towards Selena. And I think we have to accept now that when we play our ranked games, Burrito is just never going to let go of his signature hero.
Oh, and
It's
this...
hitting, man.
Man, in addition, this was the same set of heroes, if I remember correctly, that this Omega squad has used in the Cebu National Qualifier, so they are very familiar with how the mechanics of this Selena works, and Mingwin is putting it into good use.
This is true. Again, Mingwin, despite being a rookie, technically, just hitting everything, and it kind of makes you forget.
No
Demon
way.
Kite, wait!
This is James now on that shot. There goes another arrow. But the thorns surrounding James places him back to his place.
So good. That's so good, man. As the kids say, it's very giving.
Oh, there's going to be another taunt and another arrow coming out from Mingwin. You should call him Mingwin Curry at this point. Landing arrow after arrow against Aurora.
Bang after bang. 2-0-2, but the impact of the Abyssal arrows have almost always led to kills. It flew to the purple. That's not going to get the last hit of the purple buff, but that would have been crazy if it did. It's just these rotations by Aurora. They're getting outpaced right now by Mingwin. I like how from time to time Perxiva and Mingwin are actually playing away from each other, applying more pressure all across the river. So that's why Aurora's having a hard time getting a good and sure footing here. There's a lot of slippery members from the side of Omega. Even if you catch the Fredrin, there's most likely either the Selena or the Marcel nearby, excuse me. So they're slowly running out of map and running out of options.
Dude, it's been 6 minutes in, and the Selena is still assisting Ryzen in terms of getting the major objectives. That is, you know, Mingwin putting in so much work from the start, but look at the positioning of Light, though.
That's right, 80% kill participation so far for Mr. Mingwin himself. Failing to miss so far. Only misses like 1 or 2 arrows.
Light covered in darkness. Now he's going to be pushing forward. Same could be said for James, but look at the conceal. Just come one from behind. Mingwin evades that. Omega takes the turtle and another kill. Now they're going to be diving inside, but this is biting him off more than they can chew. Rice is going to be able to stay alive, but not for long, because he will not be taken down just yet until Aurora deals the clap back that was necessary. And Yue comes up next. It's going to be James. The dragon falls, and Aurora lands the fight back that was needed for them to stay place in this game.
One of the keys to victory we had, Aurora needed to be ready to trade against a very aggressive Omega. They dived a little bit too deep. Yue held on to his Crimson Beacon for the perfect moment, and it all worked out. Aurora gets the first tower break in the center of the map.
And that is huge, right? Because earlier, it's been over and over again, Omega, who are the ones who are trying to invade this jungle, and maybe because of that tower break, we'll be able to see Aurora finally giving them back, you know, returning the favor to them. And right now, Demon Kite, despite all the downsides, despite all the slips and grips, he's still actually pretty close to Ryzen in level. They're actually dead even.
Yeah, he's even on the lead in terms of the gold, and that is probably the reason why, you know, Mingwin has been assisting him so many times in order for him to stay in pace in terms of the scaling against Demon Kite, who now is 2-2-1.
Right, so now we're looking for another moment here. Edward was caught by a huge energy eruption earlier. Let's see if he can pull that off again. If they can catch Mr. Consistent a second time around and stop him from doing that engage, maybe Omega can get another team fight win. But so far, it's avoiding arrows day for Aurora.
The tough thing right now for Netsky and timing his entry is that he didn't pack a Purify. I know he needed to pack the Flicker because you need to be able to avoid Yue going in with the Crimson Beacon and sidestep him. But now you definitely have to ask Nets to be a little bit more patient with the use of his Blazing Duet. Maybe not until after you've seen Yue use the Crimson Beacon.
Yep.
So just basic attack. Just when Aurora thinks that they have a clean team fight for them, go in with the Blazing Duet to see if they can turn things around.
Here's the team fight you were talking about. 60% HP for the first Lord of this game. Light is going to be tanking that arrow like a boss, and Yue is just going to be looking for out for Perxiva, and the same could be said for everything else. Ryzen holding on to this Lord. Not much is happening, it's just that Aurora is clearing waves in mid.
Yeah, I think they kind of know that these traps are everywhere, so they need to clear them first before they go for a fight. That's what they're trying to do.
Core items locked in for the Clint. Meanwhile, top side, there's minion waves of Omega pushing in. If Demon Kai shows himself, Omega might go ahead and pull the trigger.
Yeah, they're gonna plan to blitz this as soon as Demon Kite shows himself smiling in top lane. And there it goes. This might be the trigger for Omega to start to pull it right away, and that's exactly what they're gonna do. Perxiva's giving out the information, zoning too, using the golden hour, and then right, Yue, nothing to do. And then it's an immediate retreat for smart Omega, and even with a conceal, that's just clean coming out of the barangay.
And on the other hand, it's actually pretty dirty.
Clean golden hour. He literally just ran up to the two heroes that they need to watch out for
And
stopped them and said, hey, oh! But Aurora clapped back and they find the final slash onto Perxiva.
and
That was very much necessary in order for them to stay in pace. That's what Aurora has been doing. In spite of Omega making all of these moves, they were able to also counter them with some of their own to stay in the game, only separated by almost 1,000 of a gold lead.
these traps are really keeping them a lot of info, giving them so much to work with, knowing where Aurora is and not being caught by surprise too much with the final slash. And they just keep going though. Oh my
It's
god!
Penguin against 3! He might be able to escape, but not for long, as Edward is gonna take him home. But with his life on the line, what a play coming out of Mingwin. And with that, I think they'll be able to push the bottom lane turret.
The captain takes one for the barangay. They get the kill. They're not going to be able to pop the holy defense in the bottom lane, but we are getting closer to 12 minutes anyway. Demon Kite is going to be able to secure his orange buff, not stolen away by Ryzen. So, for Aurora, clearly, one of the most surprising things about the lineup of Omega is just an Abyssal Arrow hitting you, and don't be surprised if Mingwin just shows up. So that might call for a little bit of a recalibration, wherein if you see an Abyssal Arrow coming in, collapse together as a team, watch out for any potential answers alongside the Selena, and then you go ahead and re-engage. Because if you just think that you're going to hit by an arrow and then think, I can probably just walk it off. No, Mingwin's going to chase after you. So another bit of itemization that I appreciate here is actually through James. After building the Fury Hammer, he decided to go ahead and get the Queen's Wings. He still got a little bit of the adaptive attack, but then now he can fight a longer team fight, which is important when you're going up against a very heavy burst in the marksman, while having some good long sustained team fight heroes such as the Arlot, the Suyo, the Juicin, and hell, even the Glue. The entire lineup is great for long team fights.
That's right. We haven't actually seen like a really strong engage yet, but you're right. In the long team fight, it feels like they just have so much mobility, so much spell vamp, that they can just do this all day, as Cap says.
James also has the Queen's Wings now. Ryzen's itemization pretty great as well. Went with Radiant, didn't full build the anti-Karas. It's now in the hands of James. They get the Chastise Pauldron first. And I wonder if Ryzen will just go ahead and try to rush the Guardian Helmet after this. He can still swerve right ahead into the anti-Karas, but I wouldn't be surprised if he just leaves it that, because you already have one.
Look at top. They're looking at Doming Kite, immediately flickering away. Netsky using that Blazing Duet.
Big burn.
That's a big resource from Aurora.
Yeah,
that has been taken away.
You remove the Blazing Duet, that just means you have like a few seconds to kind of just rotate around the map, and that's exactly what they're doing. They know Netsky is not that much of a threat. Now they're going to try to blitz this Lord though.
Yup, they're going to go for it. 80% HP towards the Lord. Netsky is already joining the party, and then the arrow is going to be hitting on towards Demon Kite, but it's going to be tanking, and here comes the Dragon as well. Knockups coming up from the Lord. Arrows hitting. Ryzen still getting, and Demon Kite is going to be the first one going down. The Kite brothers have fallen into the hands of the barangay. Final slash is going to be utilized. And then all of a sudden it's Edward all alone against the barangay as well, trying to fend off for his dear life, but to no avail. Omega lands on 3 for none. Netsky breaks up another turret for their side, and with Yue and Light, the only Northern Light standing, how will they be able to defend?
Uh-oh, we got time. 10 seconds, 13 seconds on Domikite. Can they clear this?
No more energy shields. Scout is going to be there. Light is going to go down, and save for Yue. The barangay styling at the spotlight of the Northern Lights. Game 1 is secure.